I heard y'all was looking for me. Here I go.
I'm doing well. I'm honestly doing pretty good. I'm excited, nervous, anxious, but I'm super grateful to be here. And when I say here, that's not just in this room, but that's on this earth. So I'm happy. Well, honestly, that's one of my biggest fears right there is the fact that I went through something that people may judge me by what I went through. But we all go through things in life that we can all be judged on. But like I always say, like, God is the only one that can judge me. So, I'm trying to do my best to move on with life with that type of mentality and continue to have that strong mental background because I work so hard for my mental to be in better health. And so overall, I think that I want people to approach me as me. I'm Wes. I'm him. I'm the same person that a lot of you probably grew up with. That you used to know. I'm literally the boy next door. I'm natural. I'm genuine. I'm nice. I'm caring. I'm loving. I protect those around me, and I show nothing but true and genuine love. So overall, I hope that people approach me in that way. They don't judge me based off my past, and they know that my future is nothing to be. I'm not an imposter. This is me. This is who I am, and just allow me to reintroduce myself one more time. I definitely think I have a lot of support. I'm so grateful for the support I have through my family, my friends, and my Kush family that's closest to me as well. It's been a journey because I've been in hiding, so I haven't really been able to open myself to receiving the support. But from the people who have been in my corner, they have definitely done nothing but provided me with undeniable support. And so I'm super, super grateful to have them. I'm super grateful to have my besties here in the room right now. I'm super grateful for my Rye. Shout out to Rye. That's been there for my journey since day one. My sisters, my mom, my dad, they all are just amazing people. They never judged me for who I was. They always allowed me to be me. They always allowed me to grow. They always allowed me to grow up. And so they're super, super, super proud of the young boy that they raised, the young man that they raised. I'm their Trey forever, but I'm so grateful to have family, to have support, and I hope to continue to have more, and I hope to continue to be able to garner those relationships and get them all back that been gone for a couple months. So biggest fear of mine is the shift in those relationships because I worked so hard for them in the past. But overall, like I said, I worked so hard on my mental that I'm just so secure in the relationships that I build. And I hope that the ones that I'm going to continue to build are able to look past the past and to see me as the current and see my future and see what I have to rebuild. Life is starting fresh for me. It's new. It feels so, so new. Every day I wake up, I feel like a whole new person again. And I'm super, super grateful to be able to have that feeling of life. And so I want everyone to just be careful, genuine, gentle when it comes to things that they may think or say, but to just genuinely get to know me for who I am. And honestly, a lot of people never got to meet the real me. A lot of them got to meet the character that was built up. When it comes to my community, they got to meet who was outside. Who's seeing my closest friends, like my Santana, my Brias, my Porcelains. They got to see me. And right now I feel so naked in front of the world. So I hope that they can see me now, and I hope that they're able to continue to see me. It's super important. I feel like a lot of people with trans experience, Black people with trans experience, don't have a lot of support. They don't have a lot of resources. We don't have a lot of things to provide them in this world. And so I feel like one thing I don't want people to do is to use my journey and my experience to judge someone else's for theirs. I don't want people to think that this is something that's common. This is something that's rare. I wasn't bullied out of, transitioning. I wasn't called ugly. I wasn't, in a space where I had to forced out of transition. I went through my own journey. I figured things out for myself. I was able to talk to my own God, my own family, my own support system. And I made this decision for myself. I made this decision because this is who I am, and that's who I wasn't. But, thankful for her. She was able to teach me so much. She was able to help me lock in with my emotions that I never experienced before. She was able to help me know what it felt like to be on the opposite end of the man that I was not yet ready to be. Right. And I think it takes a woman to raise a man. And my mother did an amazing job, for Robin definitely helped. And I'm just super grateful for the experience. I don't want anyone to ever judge anyone for their experience because we're all in a transition, everyone. We never stop. Your last transition is to the Lord, and that's the only one that matters. So I'm just grateful to be able to get through this one, and I'm super happy for life in the future that I can build from here on out. Gender is expansive. It's a spectrum, so like, and a lot of people like to compare it to this day and age and what things are happening now, but it's always been expansive. We always had people that expanded or breaking the barriers on gender and what it looked like. You had a Dennis Rodman, you had a Prince, you had a Michael Jackson, that were all straight men, but they pushed the barriers of what gender looks like. So I think a lot of people think the word detransition just means, hey, I'm not going to be this person, but I still may have that same soul. I still may have those same thoughts. I still may have some of those same feelings, but I'm just not that on the outside. And so for me, a detransition is just a process of just going through a different headspace and be able to connect the dots in different ways. And so I'm going through that process, but that's why I don't want to ridicule any other woman or any other man that has ever transitioned to be more affirmed, to feel like themselves, because it's a process to get there and it's a process for me to get back. And so overall, I think gender is just expansive. It's a spectrum. I don't know where I even lie on that today. I don't even know what this is considered. I just know I'm me. And so that's just kind of how I like to go about things. I'm Wes. I'm like I said, the boy next door. I'm just chill. I'm the guy. I'm the CEO. I'm the boss. And that's all it can be. So a detransition is a process, and it should be respected, because a transition and a detransition are both just as hard. It's like cooking a meal and then just having the ingredients and not having nothing to cook with it, So it's like, it's a lot to the process. Like I said, it's been a long journey. A lot of people don't know even when I started, but back in October 2024, I made the decision to go ahead and to start detransitioning to the medical terms, because I started with the medicine. And so during that time, mentally, I was not well, but I was, under the impression that when you go through that type of thing, it does test your mental a lot, and it tested me for years that I've been going through it. But at that time, it was a different test. And this one I couldn't quite pass, this one I couldn't quite get past. So spiritually, I started to pray. And then at that time, physically, I started to get sick. And I thought it was, of course, the hormones. So I laid off on them and things like that. So I wasn't able to sleep at certain times of the night. I was waking up with chronic headaches, and my entire day just used to just be me just in bed, and I had no type of inspiration. And I'm not that type of person. I'm not, I've never been that type of person to be so down and so depressed and to feel like that on the inside. And so I knew that it would be hard, and I've experienced times like that before. That wasn't the first time, but at this time I was at a certain point where I had to have a certain discussion with myself, and I had to talk to myself, I had to talk to God, I had to talk to my mom, because she was the first person I went to, and I had to make sense of what was going on and how I felt, you know? And so October come past, November come past, and I was just trying my best to cope, continuing to be her for the people that needed me to show up for them. And that's the only way I could show up at that time. I went through a whole process, and I got one of the jobs of my dreams, and a job where I could provide resources for LGBTQIA people and Black people and just people of color overall. And so when that happened, that took me to a different place. Like, God started to answer a lot of my prayers. He started to answer so much. He started to make sense of so many things for me. And he made sense of the journey. He said it was okay. He said I was just fine. The fact that I went through that, he was just fine that I went through that. And I understood then why I went through it and what it was for. And at that point, I didn't have anything else to do but start. So I did everything that I could do physically. I removed myself from certain parts of my world and certain parts of my life that reminded me of that time. And I stopped with the medicine. I got a lot better. My head started to get a lot stronger. And I still was trying to do my best to show up for the people that showed up for me. And so I couldn't no more. And then that's when I went on a full hiatus, and I really got myself in a better spiritual place. And so I'm happy to where I am now. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is West. That's my new chosen name. That was the direction that I'm going in. That's what came up in my dreams and in my head. And so that's who I am. It means a lot to me now to be him. It means a lot to me to be in this direction. It means a lot to me to be a strong leader, a strong man for my family, a provider, and that's what I plan to do now. I continue to provide. Um, adding more education to my lifestyle. I've been doing that behind closed doors. A lot of people don't know. I've been doing a lot of different things to just excel myself in my profession. I am now a director of programs and marketing for my nonprofit for Living Your Truth in Montgomery County Pride Family. So I do a lot of programming planning. Professionally, I still would love to continue to model. I love to dance. I love music. I love everything about creativity. I love producing. I love fashion. I definitely want to dive deeper into men's fashion for sure. I definitely want to give myself a chance more in male modeling and bring back the Black male supermodel that's been missing from the world lately. And I plan to be him. And I plan to be him with everything else I do in directing, CEOing and everything, just being a boss overall. But nice to meet you. I'm Wes.